Okay, y'all, let's get into this. 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, Season 2, Episode 7, I'm Not Your Baby. So let's get it started with Armando and Kenneth. So Kenneth is still on his way to Mexico. I think at this point he has entered the country of Mexico. Armando's getting everything ready at the, I don't know if it's an Airbnb or an apartment. Looks like it's an apartment that they're going to be sharing once Kenneth arrives. It's a really nice apartment. Really nice apartment. Now, Armando did say that because they weren't sure on how the community, how certain parts of Mexico would react to two men living together, he decided to get an apartment in a gated community for safety reasons. Basically, Armando and Kenneth's segment was just that. Oh, and Armando had made, he made a gift for Kenneth, and it was some type of a crafty gift where he had put the state of Florida, and I think he had put Mexico, and then strings attaching them together to kind of show the path that Kenneth took to get to Armando. It was a really cute little picture thing that he had made for Kenneth for his arrival, and he put it in a frame and everything, so that was really cute. It will be Kenneth paying for the apartment. Armando says he doesn't make enough money, so Kenneth will be the one that's going to be paying the rent for the place that they're going to be staying at. And that's basically about it. So we're just getting ready for Kenneth to arrive and for their reunion. That's Armando and Kenneth. Moving on to Jahoon and Devin. Okay, Jahoon and Devin are still having major issues with their relationship. They have a conversation where Jahoon tells, and they're using the translator between them, where Jahoon tells Devin that he was saving money, but he was saving it in his mother's account because he has poor money management skills. And so his mom was saving his money for him in her bank account. And I think he said he had saved about $3,000, $2,000 to $3,000. And so Devin is like, well, if you had the money, why weren't you helping? And Jahoon does admit that, he had been very selfish, only thinking about himself. I think his plan was, and I could have misunderstood because I kind of drifted away. I think Jahoon said that his initial plan was to pay off his debt so that he could free enough money to start taking care of Devin and the kids. And so I think he wanted to pay off his debt first, but not realizing that, no, you need to take care of your family, and your debt is your problem that you deal with on your own time. But your family, you need to put them first and make sure that they're provided for first. And so Devin is fed up with Jahoon. She's fed up with his lies. She's fed up with his laziness. Oh, and another thing Jahoon had told Devin, he admitted to Devin, he was just like coming clean with everything. He said that the reason why he was taking a part-time job was because he wanted to be able to rest whenever he wanted to rest. And that's why he was working part-time and not full-time. Now, Jahoon is just a very spoiled man-child. At least with Devin, she has a daughter already, so she kind of understands the responsibilities of being a parent. I don't know how fair it is to expect Jahoon to just overnight change and become, like Mr. Responsibility, father, husband of the year in 9 months, when Devin has had a little bit more experience with that. And also in a lot of other countries, I've realized that sometimes life in some countries, it's a little bit more easygoing than life in America. Life in America, by the time you turn 18, you need to start making some major decisions for your life. You're either going to work, or you're going to go in the military, you're going to go to college, you're going to learn a trade. But this thing about just chilling and laying around, it's not going to work for like 99% of American families. So in other countries, life is a little bit more slower paced. And so people can kind of chill and kind of try to figure things out. They have more time to kind of figure out what they're going to do. But in America, it's hustle, get a job, make that money, go to work. You're working from sun up to sundown. It's hectic here, very, very hectic. And so people grow up a lot faster here, a whole lot faster. And there's no stigma here to single motherhood, single parenthood, teen parenting. There's not that much of a stigma here. In a lot of other countries, there's still a huge stigma with being a single mom or being a teen parent, and so people try to avoid that. And so they'll either have partners already when they have children, or wait until later in life to have children. And usually, children are born in a two-parent home because a lot of countries value that. Here in America, it's just, we do whatever we want to do here. And so sometimes people, especially young women who have children young, like late teens, early 20s, they learn quickly to grow up. They grow up really quickly. So Devin is probably on one playing field, and then Jahoon is on a completely different type of playing field. And so she's trying to bring him into her playing field, but she's basically yanking him into it. And I'm not saying this is not an excuse for Jahoon. I'm just trying to give both people the benefit of the doubt of why they are the way they are. And it would be great if they could see that in each other. If Jahoon could work a little bit harder and Devin could be a little bit more patient with him. But we'll see how that goes. But she says she's packing up. She's leaving that apartment. She's going to go take her kids and her mom to a hotel. And basically, she's not here for Jahoon. She wants to go back to America, it seems like. She doesn't have time to keep waiting for him. So Jahoon, good luck with that. So, moving on. Give me a second, y'all. Let me get my stuff together here. Next, we go to Sumit and Jenny. Now, this episode of 90 Day Fiancé the other way was only an hour long. I'm thinking I watched the right episode. It was only because usually this show is like 2.5 hours long. Maybe not 2.5, but an hour and a half to 2 hours long. This one was only an hour. I loved it. So Sumit and Jenny, they meet with Sumit's friend, who's also going through a divorce. His divorce has taken 4 years. So they're like on a little boat, a little rowboat or something out in the water. Jenny, Sumit, and Sumit's friend. And Jenny had mentioned that this friend was there for them the first time she came to India, and he was been a really good friend to both of them, and one of the few that actually reached out and tried to get to know Jenny and spend time with Jenny. And so she asked him, why didn't you tell me that Sumit already had a wife? And I'm thinking to myself, why would he tell you that? That's none of his business. What goes on between you and Sumit, and what Sumit wants you to know, and what you should know and shouldn't know, that has got nothing to do with him. He's there. He's a good friend to both of you. He supports y'all's relationship. That's all you need to be concerned about, Jenny. You're trying to get on his case about, well, why didn't you tell me? Well, no, it was not his place to tell you what was going on with his homeboy. That's his homeboy's place to tell you. Sumit, don't get mad at him. Okay, you need to get on your man and like why he didn't tell you a lot of stuff. So Jenny, leave that man alone. But he tells her that he's also going through a divorce, and he tells her that it's been taking him 4 years to get a divorce. And so Jenny was like, what, 4 years? And she's like, but it's not going to take Sumit 4 years. And he said, well, my situation is different. We have a lot of issues that we're battling out in court. And Sumit jumps in and says that his divorce is really mutual. It's a mutual divorce, and that as long as he keeps paying the money, which I'm not quite clear on what he means keep paying the money. I originally thought that Sumit had said that the father-in-law was demanding a certain amount of money from him, because the father-in-law was like, I spent so much of my money for your marriage. Now you're leaving my daughter, so you owe me this money back, and then we'll do the divorce. I think that's what it was, but I'm not sure. I think this is the money that he owes the father-in-law, because the father-in-law's like, you're the one that left the marriage. You left my daughter, so, all the money that I spent on y'all or whatever, you owe it back to me. So I think once he's done paying that off, the wife will go ahead and sign the papers. I could be 100% wrong on that. I don't know. Okay, so that was basically their little scene. And then Jenny tells him at the end, I need to see those divorce papers. I look really stupid traveling across the world for you. And before I left America, I didn't even see proof of your divorce. I'm just going on your word. And because, Sumit has a history of being dishonest, she needs more than his word. So he tells her, and the friend tells Sumit, you need to show her the papers. You need to go to your lawyer, and you need to show her the papers. And Sumit says, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll do that. Okay, but Sumit, why hasn't it been done already? Okay, moving right along, y'all. Hopefully this is not going to take long. We'll be in and out in a jiffy. In and out in a jiffy. Okay, so then we have Ariella and Benny, who she calls baby. I think that's what everybody calls him because he's the baby of the family. So Ariella, her mom comes to see the apartment that they're going to be living in temporarily. This is the temporary place. So the mother comes, and from the outside to the inside to the back, the mom is like, hell to the no, this is not going to work for my daughter and my grandbaby. No, this is not good. The bathroom is pretty bad, but it's functional. They don't have a refrigerator inside. They don't refrigerate stuff, so they don't have a need for a refrigerator. I think the only running water is outside in the backyard. So they have a what do they call it? A faucet outside. And I guess you fill out the necessary tubs that you're going to be using for water. And so there's like a really big tub outside that they use to wash dishes. So they fill up the tub, and then they'll use that, like not a tub, like a bucket, that they'll use that to wash dishes with and clean and whatever. And the mother was like, okay, so what do you use to clean the bucket itself? And he says, we use leaves. And the mom is like, leaves? And he's like, yeah, there's a certain kind of leaf. There's certain leaves that we use, which are just like, it cleans just like soap. So that's what we use to clean the bucket. Okay, this is, so Ariella and her mom are like, no, this is not going to work. So then he takes them, because he's been holding this as a surprise, the actual apartment of where they're going to be staying when the baby comes. So he didn't tell her beforehand because he wanted to, surprise her. So they go to the apartment that will be their forever home, I guess. And this place is tore up from the floor up. It is under major construction and reconstruction. It is completely inhabitable. It looks like I don't know what was going on here. Just loose wires, exposed wires, no running water, no electricity. Just a big disaster. It looks like somebody was about to come in and demolish it. A huge disaster. And so he says he's going to fix it up, and it's going to be really nice, and then they're going to be able to move in, and everything is going to be wonderful. And of course the mother of Ariella, she's like, well, both of them were like, well, how long is it going to take you to fix this up? Because she's due to have the baby in, I don't know what they said, I guess in a month or so. And Benny says, oh, it'll take about a week. No way. There's no way that's going to take a week. There's no way fixing that place is going to take a week. Absolutely not. Even if you had 100 men working, there's no way that place is going to take a week, because not only do you have to fix the place itself, you also have to order stuff. You have to order furniture. You have to order appliances. Stuff still has to be bought. That's not going to take a week for all that stuff to come in. So he says it'll take about a week, and they're like, no, it's not going to take a week. It's going to take more than a week. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm just like, Ariella, sweetheart, please, girl, go back home. Go back to America with your mother. Have your baby there. Then when he gets the home ready, come back to Ethiopia. If your end goal in life is to live in Ethiopia, go back home, have your baby comfortably, safely. Let him, give this man time, because he is under so much pressure right now to get this home ready. Give this man time. When you and your mom leave and stop breathing down his neck, he'll be probably, hopefully, he's got the motivation, that he's not a Jahoon, that he has the motivation to get the home ready. Go back to America, have your baby, FaceTime the birth, the labor and delivery, have him there on FaceTime, like the way it was with Jahoon. Girl, you will be fine if he's not there for the birth. You need to have a healthy pregnancy, a healthy delivery. Your mind needs to be free and clear of unnecessary stress while you're trying to deliver this baby. So stop it and go home. Okay, Brittany and Yazin. So this episode, or this segment of Brittany and Yazan was difficult to watch. It starts off with Yazan. He shows up at her hotel. He brings her a pretty yellow flower. He's trying to apologize, make amends and everything. And so he says he's sorry for the way he acted at the airport. He said that he was very jealous, and that it was the anger and all of that was coming from a place of jealousy, and that, she cannot hug another man. And, obviously she can't have a bottle of alcohol with her either. And so Brittany doesn't take it to, she cautiously, I guess you could say, accepts his apology, but she's still like, I can hug whoever I want to hug. I understand if I cannot hug someone of your culture, an Arabic man, but this is a camera crew guy. He's an American, I'm an American, and this is how we greet each other, and that's not gonna stop. So he's basically like, and this is so they leave the apartment, the hotel, they go into the car, and that's where they're having this conversation about the hug. And he tells her in the car, I don't want you hugging other men. And she tells him, I can hug another American if I see another American, because that's how we do it. That's how we are in America. And he's still like, no, you cannot do that. So they argue about that. Brittany is extremely angry and argumentative and not willing to bend and not willing to compromise. So then he tells her, you have to put on the, I forget what it's called, the Habib or the Hajib. You have to put that on because we're going to go see my parents, and you have to wear that when we see my parents. And she's like, yeah, no problem with that. I'll wear that when we get to their house. I'm not going to put it on right now. And so he kind of pressures her to put it on now. And she's like, don't, relax. I'm going to put it on. So when they get close to the parents' house, she puts it on, and she complains about having to put that on her $900 wig, and she's like, I got to put this on my $900 wig and da, 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 da. So then all hell breaks loose. They argue from the hotel to the car, all the way up to the parents' house. They are constantly arguing. And you can tell that Yazan is trying to, he's not the same Yazan of the night before, where he was like, throwing F-bombs and yelling and screaming. He was trying to keep really, really calm, but trying to also, get his point across. And so when they get to the parents' house, all hell breaks loose, because the parents are like, okay, y'all been together for a year or however long it's been. We need to get this ball rolling. Y'all need to be married, because y'all cannot be romantically involved and not married. That goes against what we believe in here. And so she's here. Y'all need to get married. So let's do this Sunday. And he tells Brittany what his parents are expecting. And Brittany's whole thing is that she's still married to her Haitian husband, who ended up being deported a few months into their marriage. So she's still married to him. So she's trying to get that cleared up. And so her whole resistance to the marriage to Yazan is that, oh, my family needs to be here and they can't come until January. And his parents are like, no, we're not waiting until January. You've been stringing our son along this whole entire time. You come, you go, you come, you go. First you tell us it's your divorce. Now you're telling us because your family needs to be here. We're tired of the excuses. This needs to happen now, or y'all need to go your separate ways. We're not going to accept this. And so she gets extremely defensive, and she's like, why are y'all pressuring me? I don't even want to talk about this right now. And then they bring up the topic of her converting to Islam. So she's not hearing that. She's like, no, I'm not going to convert to Islam. Then the father says, not only does she need to convert to Islam and to get married, but she needs to completely change everything about her former life. She needs to leave her former life alone. She is going to become a Muslim woman. She cannot do all the stuff that she's been doing on social media. All of that needs to stop, and it needs to stop right now. And so Brittany completely explodes, because she's like, y'all are trying to change me. I'm not a Muslim woman. I'm an American woman. Of course, I'm paraphrasing. And it ends up being really, really ugly. Everybody's yelling at each other. Yazin's mom, who is not filmed because it's against her culture to be filmed. Yazin's mom, she gets very vocal with Brittany. And there was a time during the conversation where, I guess he had explained to his mom that, he calls her baby, or maybe it happened in the home when they're having this conversation. I think he called her baby, you're my baby, and she keeps on saying, no, I'm not your baby. And then the mother got mad and she was like, no, you do not talk to my son like that. You're disrespecting my son. If my son says you're his baby, you're supposed to say, yes, I'm your baby. You do not tell my son no. A woman here does not tell her husband no. So, I mean, wow. Brittany ends up breaking down. She's like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I don't know what y'all are saying. I don't speak your language. I don't know what y'all are saying. And so she gets up and she's trying to leave. And then the father and the mother are like, no, no, she can't be like this. She can't be like this. The father had also said, this really got Brittany upset and made her want to leave, was when the father said, the way she lives on social media, people would think that she's a prostitute. So this whole scene was a disaster from beginning to end. Now, I probably jumbled all of that up, but y'all get the gist of it. That they were like, you need to be married. You need to convert to Islam. Leave your former life alone. If y'all want to be romantically involved, you have to be married, and we're not going to spend another second on this. Y'all need to get married like yesterday. Otherwise, this is not going to work. So Brittany, I think this is what I want to say. If Brittany does not want to convert to Islam, and she does not want to live like an Arabic woman, doesn't want to dress like them, doesn't want to live like them, doesn't want to be subservient to her husband, then girl, get you an American man. Go back to Florida and get you an American man, or a foreign man who has similar beliefs and values as you do. Yazin, you want a woman who's going to convert, who's going to live an Arabic life, be the perfect Arabic woman. Get you an Arabic woman, Yazin. Or get you an American woman, if that's your thing, is you like American women. Get you an American woman who is willing to convert and to change her religion, her culture, everything to yours. They are women that exist, because, like, I forgot their names, but on that one episode, that one season of 90 Day Fiancé, I think it was last season, you have that American girl who had no problem converting. While she was still living in the States, she converted to Islam. She had no problem. While she was still living in America, she was dressed in the whole entire Muslim attire, the habib or the hijab. She was dressed like that. In America, she was dressed like that. I don't think we ever saw that girl's hair, ever. Not a strand. So I don't understand why people put themselves through these really unhappy situations. Y'all are not even married. Y'all are not even married yet. You don't have children together. You don't have property together. If it's not working, he's not what you want and you're not what he wants, go your separate ways and find what you want while you still have the time. There's no need for people to be yelling and screaming and cussing each other out, and people having emotional breakdowns and just completely losing control of themselves. If Yazin wants an Arabic woman, go get you an Arabic woman. If Brittany wants a man who's not going to control her and tell her what to do and how to do it, go get you a man that's like that. There's no need for all of this. And so that's how that ended. Brittany storms out, and I think Yazin's dad was like, Yazin, go after her, go get her. I don't know why. Let that girl go. And that's it, y'all. 90 Day Fiancé, Season 2, Episode 7. It's a wrap. I'll talk to you later. Bye.